Welcome back to my kitchen. It's a chocolate chip kind of day. My favorite cookie is a warm chocolate chip cookie with vanilla ice cream. So today we're doing a chocolate chip pound cake. I will be using 3 cups of my Swans Down cake flour. And to that, I've added ½ teaspoon of baking powder. Now, once I added the baking powder, I sifted it one more time. Okay, so I have the 3 cups of cake flour, the ½ teaspoon of baking powder, and I sifted everything one more time and then put it in my measuring cup. Swans Down comes pre-sifted for you when you purchase it out of the grocery store. It's already pre-sifted in the box. But once I add any kind of ingredient to it, I like to sift it one more time, okay? Then I will be using 3 cups of sugar. We have 3 sticks of unsalted butter. It is room temperature. I'm also going to be using 8 ounces of cream cheese that's also room temperature. And since I oftentimes forget to add it to my mixing bowl in the very beginning, it's already in here. Room temperature. I have 5 eggs, 5 large eggs that I've already cracked, and they too are room temperature. For my extracts, I will be using some cream bouquet, about ½ teaspoon, and then I will be using at least a tablespoon of my pure vanilla. I have 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and I will be adding that in the beginning as I'm creaming my cream cheese and butter and sugar, okay? So that's going to be added in the very beginning. And then, of course, we cannot forget the star of the show. I will be using these mini semi-sweet chocolate chips, and we're going to use about 2 cups. Make no mistake, you will know that there are chocolate chips in this cake. Okay, so we're not going to be stingy with the chocolate chips. I am preheating my oven to 325 degrees. So by the time we get through mixing up this cake, the oven will be ready. I think I will probably do maybe like a chocolate ganache. I think that's what I'm going to do. But in the meantime, I have thoroughly washed my hands. Don't be in the kitchen with nasty hands, because that's just nasty. Again, my cream cheese is already in my mixing bowl. And to that, I'm adding my 3 sticks of unsalted, softened butter. If by chance you have salted butter and that's what you want to use, that's perfectly fine to use salted butter. Just omit that 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So, again, if you're using salted butter, just don't add that any more salt. So that 1/4 teaspoon of salt that I'll have in this recipe, you can totally omit it if you're using salted butter. Okay, so what I'll do is I'm going to turn on my mixing bowl or my mixer, but before I do that, we're going to add this 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And also we're going to go on and add our extracts. Okay, this is the cream bouquet. This is what I call bakery in a bottle. I love it. So I'm going to add maybe about a ½ teaspoon to a teaspoon of cream bouquet. And then we're going to add at least a tablespoon of our pure vanilla. And then when I turn the mixer on, I'm going to mix this cream cheese and butter for a little bit, not long, maybe about less than a minute. I'm going to mix it together to get it mixed up really well before I start adding my sugar. Now once I start adding my sugar, I'm going to slowly add my 3 cups of sugar. We're going to cream this butter, cream cheese, and sugar for at least about 12 minutes. You want it to be nice and fluffy. You don't want to hear those sugar crystals mixing around in the bottom of your mixing bowl. And this is a process. You have to cream adequately because it can affect the outcome of your cake. It can be dense, it can be gummy, it can cause your cake to fall. So you cannot rush this process, okay? I do indeed set a timer. I set my timer for about 10-12 minutes. I walk away and I do something else, but I do come back at least twice, stop my mixer, and scrape down the sides of my mixing bowl, because you will notice that your butter, sugar, cream cheese, the majority of it will start, collecting on the sides of your bowl. If it's up here, it's not getting cream. So if your mixer does not have a built-in scraper, it's imperative that you stop your mixer at least a couple of times and scrape down that bowl to make sure everything is getting properly creamed. Okay? After it's creamed, we're going to stop and I'll show you what light and fluffy should look like when I'm creaming the butter and sugar and cream cheese. I cream on high, so I usually have my mixer set on about 8 or 9 once I'm creaming. Okie dokie? All right, let's get started. Okay, we've been creaming for 12 minutes, so we are now light and fluffy, okay? And when you're creaming and using cream cheese with the butter and sugar, it's going to have a battery look. It's going to look like batter, so the texture is going to be different than if you were just creaming with only butter and sugar, okay? So now that we've creamed our butter, sugar, and cream cheese, it's time to start adding our eggs one at a time. Now when I add my eggs, I'm going to mix just enough until that yolk disappears. Usually when I add my eggs, the setting is on about 6 with my mixer. Maybe about 6 or 7 when I'm adding my eggs, okay? You don't want to overmix here as well, so mix just enough to where that yolk kind of disappears. If by chance, when you're trying to add your eggs, you have 2 eggs jump in as opposed to 1, no worries. Just mix a few seconds longer because now you're incorporating 2 eggs as opposed to 1, all right? Once the eggs have been added, then I will add my flour. Now today, because we're using the cream cheese, we're not going to be alternating with anything like we would normally be alternating with the milk. So we're just going to slowly add the flour. We want to mix enough just to kind of incorporate. Again, we're not over mixing, okay? So once I add this flour to start incorporating it, it's not going to take long at all. You won't see me do the entire process of adding the flour. You'll see me add a little bit And then you'll probably see me add a little bit more. That way you can kind of see how long I wait before I add more flour. Then you will see me add just that last little bit of flour. Oh, but also in that process, we're going to go on and add our chocolate chips. So I will probably add the chocolate chips. And I'm not going to fold them in this time. They are the mini chocolate chips. And I think I'm just going to add them. Once I add that little bit of flour, the last little bit, I think I'm going to add the chocolate chips too and just going to get them mixed in. Okay? Okie dokie. So again, don't overmix because same rules apply. Your cake can be gummy. It can fall. It can make it really, really dense. We don't want any of that. But this process doesn't take as long as it did the creaming of the butter, the sugar, and the cream cheese. Okay? Just going to give it a couple of more stirs to make sure that everything is mixed in really well. In the meantime, I have thoroughly sprayed my cake pan with Baker's Joy. So in goes the batter. All those beautiful chocolate chips. So now we're just getting our batter smooth. And as level as possible, so we won't have a lopsided cake. And normally I would tap it under the bottom, but I don't want to encourage any of these mini chocolate chips to sink. Okay? So we're going in 325 degrees. I bake my cakes in the middle rack in my oven, in the middle of my oven, I just adjust one of the racks to where it's in the middle, and that's where we bake. And I'm gonna set my timer for about an hour and 10 minutes because I'll be able to smell it by then, and then we'll check it and see if it's ready to come out, and if not, we'll just add a little bit more time. Okay, now we baked about an hour and 20 minutes, and I think something may be going on with my oven temperature. That's why I tell you, because usually it doesn't take that long to bake. I thought for sure it would be done in about an hour and 15 minutes, but I kept checking my oven thermometer through my oven door with the light on. Do not be opening and closing the door when you are baking a cake. You will make it fall. If you do that before an hour's time, you're going to make your cake fall. So I was looking through the window, looking at my timer, so I was kind of adjusting it when, anywho. So again, I always say bake time is going to depend on your oven, okay? So anywho, now we're going to let it cool for at least about 10 minutes before we flip it. We are flipping. I spy chocolate chips. Do you guys spy chocolate chips? Look at there. Yes. Okay. So now we will cool for a little while, of course, not in any hurry, to put my ganache on. I was getting ready to say glaze it, but I guess I will be glazing it with my ganache. But in the meantime, we're just going to cool. Now I'm getting ready to make my ganache, and I'm going to use these Ghirardelli Premium Baking Milk Chocolate Chips, okay? So I'm going to take these and pour about 2 cups. Yeah, about 2 cups of these. And then here in my pot, I have some heavy whipping cream that has just started to simmer. You do not want it to boil. And I'm just going to pour it over these chocolate chips, okay? So we're going to let that sit for just a few minutes, and then we're going to stir them to make our chocolate ganache. And after I stir them, I'm going to add a little bit of vanilla and then about a tablespoon of this corn syrup, okay? So we need to give it just a few minutes so it can start melting. Okay, we have our chocolate all melted. So now I'm going to add about a teaspoon or so of my vanilla, and then about a tablespoon of my corn syrup. It's going to give me that glossy look. And now we're just going to continue to stir to get this all mixed in, and then we are ready to add this ganache to our cake. Chocolate chip pound cake with a chocolate ganache and a whole lot of extra chocolate down in the hole. It is time.
Lord, is it? Oh, yum, yum, eat them up.
That looks good. Oh, what kind is this? It's a lot of chocolate. I can see that. It looks like a Snickers. Let's eat it.
How does it look like a Snickers?
It look like a bunch of chocolate to me.
And you can't even see inside the cake.
I can't see inside, but I can smell it. And from my cake senses, I can I know what this is. This is chocolate chip. I can. This is a lot of
snatch it.
This, baby, I love you.
Oh, you don't knock me down. Getting the drawer open. Let's see. Let's taste it. Good girl. You see the chocolate chips.
This a big cookie, everybody.
Yes, but you stop hollering.
I'm gonna say, baby, they need to know.
What you hollering?
The people need to know it's a big cookie.
They don't need to get you excited like that. I might need to cut another little piece out so we can see the chips. Can you see the chips pretty good?
You're supposed to have a deep voice when you're dealing with chocolate, like, ooh, baby, this is chocolate.
Can we get a thumbnail, sir?
Oh.
Move to the right. You're right, just a little bit. Okay. I guess that'll do it.
You gotta have a deep voice. It's chocolate, baby. Would you like some?
Back up, babe. You too close.
Would you, wait a minute, where would you? Take a bite of my chocolate chip.
You trying to sound like Barry White?
Yeah, I'm Robert Barry.
Oh, we didn't show them the slice. Cause you're so greedy. Show y'all the cut slice without the
God, this is like a big cookie.
Honey, what's my favorite cookie?
The kind that real good one. I know what your favorite cookie is, like I don't know you.
Where you going? Where you going?
Sitting beside you. I want to just, girl, you eat chocolate, your voice just go deep and you just feel sexy. Rub my shoulder. Just
rub your shoulder? That ain't your shoulder.
No,
right
no,
there.
I'm rubbing my chest. You rub my shoulder.
Well, you
That ain't my shoulder. You know what my shoulder at, girl? God, you don't just change
God.
You don't change the whole mood. Just give me
you was trying to be romantic.
Yeah, girl, it's chocolate. You're supposed to be chocolate chip chunky.
Something wrong with you. That's good.
Chocolate chunky chip.
When y'all my chocolate chips didn't sink. And that's because they were the mini. And I didn't fold them in. I added them in.
This is a big cookie.
With the batter. Okie dokie. Well. Yay. And then, look, and then all the extra chocolate oozing on down. Y'all see the extra chocolate oozing on down? Can y'all see? Look at it oozing on down.
So if you're a chocolate, and guys.
Some people would have put chocolate chips on the top, but I didn't want all them on the top.
And now this is milk chocolate.
That's the milk chocolate chips.
Yeah, this is the milk chocolate here, guys. I can tell.
I know you like the milk chocolate.
It is good, I'm telling you. But this is. Why are you sitting here lusting after my cake?
I'm not. I'm making sure that cake in the corner.
So you sitting there like.
Oh my goodness!
Why you don't look at me the same way you look at this cake? Okay, no, look at your cake. Now look at me.
Let me look at the cake.
Now look at me. I'm sending the vibes out. Wait a minute. What's wrong? You don't look at me the same way. You don't look at me like you look at this cake, huh?
You my sexual chocolate.
Yeah. Just rub my shoulder. Just my shoulder. Just my shoulder. Don't touch nothing else.
Okay. Listen. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up.
This is so good. This is a big cookie.
If you've not subscribed, please consider doing so.
Hit the nosy!
That's that notification bell. When you hit the notification bell and it shakes, that's that shake something. Shake something. Shake something. Shake something. And it's going to notify you every time he over here being special or whatever it is he's doing this time.
This is good.
Is it? Yay, I'm glad you like it. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. We already look forward to you. That's that kind of chewy crumb on the outside. I already look forward to you joining us again next time. Bye. Did you ever say what my favorite cookie was?
Yeah.
What was it? What is it?
Why are you talking to me like I don't know these things?
Okay, what is it, baby? Hurry up, we've ended the video.
Oh, oatmeal raisin.
Baby, what do I like? I do like oatmeal raisin,
Yeah.
but what do I put in the oven and eat with what kind of ice cream?
Chocolate chip.
Okay. What kind of ice cream?
And wait a minute.
You about to get
Vanilla.
it? Okay, I was gonna
It's
say you about to
vanilla.
get it. Yeah.
Girl, let me tell you
I
something.
do like oatmeal. Listen. Bye, y'all.
Attention to everything you both say and do. Cause I'm chunky chocolate. Rub my shoulder. Rub my shoulder.
No, I'm
No,
rubbing
my belly ain't the
rubbing
pill,
your
baby.
belly.
Don't boy. You rub the shoulder, not the belly.